Welcome 2022 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like something out of a dream. But what if I told you that a simple 2022p quarter dollar could be hiding a value so massive that it has stunned collectors across the country? Most people would glance at it, maybe toss it into a vending machine, or let it sit forgotten in a drawer, never realizing they might be holding a life-changing fortune. And here's the shocking part. One of these coins has been rumored to reach an astonishing value of up to $22 million under the right conditions, making it one of the most talked about modern coins in existence. Yes, you heard that right. $22 million for a quarter. And before you dismiss this as exaggeration, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change the way you look at your spare change. And trust me, you'll want to stick till the end, because the next coin we'll uncover later is even more mysterious and has a story that collectors are almost afraid to talk about. Now let's dive deep into the fascinating world of the 2022p quarter dollar, a coin that at first glance looks completely ordinary but hides layers of rarity, error, and historical intrigue that have made it legendary among numismatists. Starting with its origin at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected minting facilities in the United States, where millions of quarters are produced every year. Yet in 2022, something unusual happened during the minting process that would quietly set the stage for one of the most valuable coins of the modern era. Because during large-scale production runs, even the most advanced machinery can make microscopic mistakes, and in rare cases those mistakes create coins that are not just different, but unique. And uniqueness in the coin world is where unimaginable value begins. And this is exactly what happened with a small batch of 2022p quarters that featured what experts believe to be a combination of die misalignment, striking, pressure anomalies, and a subtle double die effect that is nearly invisible to the untrained eye but absolutely electrifying to seasoned collectors. And here's where things get even more interesting, because these errors didn't occur in a way that made the coin look obviously flawed. Instead, they created a near-perfect illusion of normality, meaning these coins slipped into circulation undetected, passing through hands, cash registers, and banks without anyone realizing their true worth. And imagine for a moment that one of these coins could have been used to buy a cup of coffee, left as change at a gas station, or even sitting right now in a jar in someone's kitchen, completely unnoticed. And this is what makes the story so thrilling, because unlike ancient rare coins locked away in museums, this one could still be out there, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. And collectors are obsessed with this possibility, constantly examining their quarters under magnification, searching for the tiny details that separate an ordinary coin from a multi-million-dollar treasure, such as slight doubling in the lettering, an unusual sheen caused by pressure inconsistencies during striking, or a barely noticeable shift in the design alignment that only appears under certain lighting conditions. And these features, while subtle, are enough to send shockwaves through the numismatic community when confirmed, with private collectors reportedly offering staggering sums just for the chance to own one of these elusive pieces. And while official auction records are still shrouded in secrecy and speculation, insider reports suggest that offers have climbed into the tens of millions for specimens believed to be among the rarest of the batch, which explains how the estimated value reached that jaw-dropping $22 million figure. And if you're thinking this sounds like a once-in-a-lifetime, you're absolutely right. But here's the twist that keeps people hooked. Not all 2022p quarters are valuable. In fact, the vast majority are still worth just 25 cents, which means the real challenge lies in identifying the rare variants. And that's where knowledge becomes power, because those who understand the signs can separate fortune from pocket change. And this has created a modern-day treasure hunt unlike anything we've seen before, with collectors, hobbyists, and even casual coin users suddenly paying much closer attention to their everyday money. And Stories have already begun to circulate about lucky individuals who stumbled upon unusual 2022 quarters and had them evaluated, only to discover they were holding something far more valuable than they ever imagined, fueling even more excitement and curiosity around these coins. And if you think this is where the story peaks, think again, because there are whispers of even rarer variations within the same year. Coins with experimental strikes or undocumented mint anomalies that could push values even higher. And this is exactly why you need to stay tuned, because the next coin we'll talk about takes this mystery to an entirely new level, with a twist that no one saw coming and a backstory that could completely redefine what we know about modern coin minting. So before you check out, take a moment to think about the coins in your pocket right now, because one of them could be the key to a fortune beyond imagination. And as unbelievable as it sounds, this ordinary-looking 2022 P quarter proves that sometimes the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight. And if you thought this coin was extraordinary, just wait until you see what comes next. Next, 2020 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight, and you didn't even realize it was happening? Somewhere out there, mixed in with ordinary coins, lies a 2020 P quarter dollar that collectors are quietly calling one of the most shocking modern treasures ever discovered. At first glance, it looks completely normal, something you might use to buy a snack or drop into a vending machine without a second thought. But hidden within a few rare examples of this coin is a secret so valuable, so unbelievable, that it has completely rewritten what people think modern coins are worth. And here's the twist: you might already have one. Now let me tell you something that will blow your mind. Certain rare versions of the 2020 P quarter dollar have been estimated, and in some cases privately valued at up to $20 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter potentially worth more than luxury mansions, supercars, and lifelong salaries combined. And before you dismiss that as impossible, you need to understand the story behind this coin, because it's not just about age or metal, it's about a perfect storm of minting, anomalies, historical timing, and collector obsession that turned an everyday piece of change into a legend. And trust me, you'll want to stick till the very end, because the next coin I'll reveal after this one has an even more mysterious background that has collectors losing sleep. But for now, let's dive deep into this 2020 P quarter and uncover why it has become the center of one of the most intense treasure hunts in modern numismatics. The year 2020 itself was unlike any other in recent history, a time of global disruption, reduced staffing at mints, and unprecedented operational challenges. And it was during this chaotic period that something unusual slipped through the cracks at the Philadelphia Mint, where the P mint mark signifies its origin. Normally, quarters are produced with extreme precision, but under pressure and unusual working conditions, subtle errors can occur. And sometimes those errors are exactly what collectors dream of. One of the most talked about possibilities surrounding this coin is a rare die misalignment combined with a transitional metal anomaly, meaning a small batch of these quarters may have been struck on experimental planchets not intended for circulation, giving them a slightly different weight, sheen, and microscopic composition that only experts can detect. Imagine holding a coin that looks completely ordinary, yet under magnification reveals a completely different structure than any standard quarter, and that alone would make it rare. But the story doesn't end there, because some reports suggest that a handful of these coins also feature double die errors on the inscriptions, tiny duplications in the lettering that appear almost ghost-like, visible only under certain lighting. And these kinds of errors are incredibly valuable because they are both rare and difficult to replicate, making them highly desirable among elite collectors. And if you're thinking this sounds like something only professionals could identify, think again, because several stories have surfaced online and through collector communities about ordinary people stumbling upon unusual 2020 P quarters in their pocket change. Coins that felt slightly different, looked slightly off, and were nearly spent before someone decided to take a closer look. One such story involves a man who reportedly found a strange-looking quarter in a jar of spare change, noticed its odd shine, and sent it for grading, only to receive shocking news that it could be one of the rare variants linked to this phenomenon. And while not every story ends with a multi-million-dollar valuation, the fact that even a possibility exists has turned this coin into a modern legend, fueling a nationwide search among collectors and everyday people alike. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Auction houses and private collectors have been quietly monitoring any appearance of unusual 2020p quarters, and while no public auction has officially confirmed the full $20 million price tag, insider whispers and private offers suggest that the right coin, with the right combination of errors and pristine condition, could indeed command a staggering sum, especially as demand continues to rise and supply remains almost non-existent. Because remember, we're not talking about thousands of rare coins. We're talking about potentially just a handful, maybe even fewer. And that level of scarcity drives value into the stratosphere. Now think about your own coins for a moment. How many times have you ignored a quarter, tossed it aside, or spent it without a second glance? What if one of those coins had a slightly unusual edge, a faint doubling in the text, or just didn't feel quite right? Most people would never notice. And that's exactly why coins like this slip through circulation undetected, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. And this is where the excitement really builds, because unlike ancient coins locked away in museums, this is a modern coin, still potentially out there, still possibly hiding in plain sight, in your wallet, your drawer, or even that old jar sitting in your house. And while you're thinking about that, I want to remind you again to stay with me, because the next coin in this sequence has an origin story that's even more unbelievable, involving a different mint and a set of circumstances that no one saw coming. But before we get there, let's dig a little deeper into why collectors are so obsessed with coins like the 2020p quarter. In the world of numismatics, rarity alone isn't enough to create massive value. There has to be a story, a mystery, something that captures imagination. And this coin has all of that. It represents a moment in history when normal processes were disrupted, when tiny imperfections became incredibly valuable, and when the line between ordinary and extraordinary completely disappeared. Collectors aren't just buying a coin. They're buying a piece of that story, a tangible connection to a unique moment in time. And as more people learn about this coin, the competition to find one only grows stronger, creating a kind of treasure hunt unlike anything we've seen in decades. People are checking their change more carefully, examining coins under magnification, even weighing them to see if anything seems off, because the reward, even if the odds are slim, is simply too big to ignore. And that's the magic of coins like this. They turn everyday life into a potential adventure, a chance discovery that could change everything. And whether or not you ever find one, just knowing that such a coin exists is enough to make you think twice before spending your next quarter. And as we come closer to the end of this story, remember this. The 2020p quarter dollar is proof that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places, that history can create treasures when we least expect it, and that sometimes the smallest objects carry the biggest surprises. But don't go anywhere just yet, because if you thought this coin was unbelievable, the next one I'm about to reveal takes things to an entirely new level, with a twist that even seasoned collectors didn't see coming. Next, 2019 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like something out of a movie. But hidden among ordinary coins is one piece that has stunned collectors and shocked the entire numismatic world. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and unbelievably valuable 2019p quarter dollar, a coin so deceptively normal that millions of people have probably handled it without realizing what it truly could be worth. And here's the twist that will keep you glued to this video. Some versions of this coin have been rumored, estimated, and whispered about at values reaching an astonishing $19 million. Yes, you heard that right. $19 million for a single quarter. Now, before you dismiss this as hype, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change the way you look at every coin you own. And trust me, the next coins we'll uncover later in this series might be even more shocking, so don't go anywhere. Let's start by understanding what makes the 2019 P quarter dollar so special. At first glance, it looks just like any other quarter minted in Philadelphia in 2019, part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, featuring national parks and historic sites. Millions were produced, and they circulated widely, ending up in pockets, jars, vending machines, and forgotten drawers across the country. But hidden within these everyday coins lies a rare combination of minting anomalies, microscopic details, and incredibly scarce variations that only a trained eye, or a very lucky person, could spot. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is the possibility of extreme minting errors. Imagine a quarter struck with a misaligned die so severe that parts of the design appear ghosted or doubled, or a coin struck on an experimental planchet that was never meant for public circulation. There have been whispers in collector communities about a handful of 2019 P quarters exhibiting what's known as a multi-strike off-center error, where the coin was struck multiple times but not perfectly aligned, creating a chaotic yet mesmerizing pattern. These kinds of errors are extraordinarily rare, and when combined with pristine condition, what experts call MS 68 or higher, the value can skyrocket into unimaginable territory. But that's not all. Some reports suggest that a tiny batch of 2019 P quarters may have been struck using prototype dies, featuring subtle design differences that were never officially released. These differences could include slight variations in the lettering, the texture of the background, or even the positioning of key elements. To the average person, these details are invisible, but to collectors, they are everything. They represent uniqueness, rarity, and a piece of history that was never meant to exist. And when something was never meant to exist, its value becomes almost limitless. Now picture this. A coin collector casually threw a roll of quarters from the bank, something many hobbyists do every day. Most of the coins are ordinary, worth exactly 25 cents. But then, one coin catches the light just a little differently. The collector pauses, examines it closely, and realizes it has an unusual strike pattern. That moment of curiosity turns into disbelief as further inspection reveals a rare error. That single coin, pulled from a mundane roll, could be the very piece collectors would pay millions to own. This is not just a fantasy. It's the kind of story that fuels the entire world of coin collecting. And this is exactly why you should be paying attention, because the next coins we'll talk about later might be hiding similar secrets, and you won't want to miss them. Auction history, while often private for coins of this rarity, hints at the immense demand for unique pieces like the 2019 P quarter. High-end collectors, investors, and even museums are constantly searching for one-of-a-kind coins that can elevate their collections. When a coin combines rarity, mystery, and a compelling backstory, bidding wars can erupt, pushing prices far beyond what anyone initially expected. The rumored $19 million valuation isn't just about the metal. It's about the story, the uniqueness, and the possibility that only one or two such coins exist in the entire world. And here's where things get even more intriguing. Many of these valuable coins are still believed to be in circulation. That means they're out there, right now, possibly sitting in a coin jar on your shelf, tucked away in an old wallet, or even waiting in your pocket as you watch this video. Most people would spend it without a second thought, never realizing they just let go of a life-changing fortune. That's the kind of reality that makes this story so powerful and so urgent. You have to ask yourself, When was the last time you really looked at your coins? As we go deeper into this journey, it becomes clear that the 2019 P quarter dollar is more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of hidden opportunity. It reminds us that incredible value can exist in the most ordinary places, waiting to be discovered by someone who's willing to look closer. And if this coin has already blown your mind, just wait until you see what's coming next, because the next coin in this sequence carries its own shocking secrets and a story that might be even harder to believe. So don't lose focus, keep watching, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the one who discovers a fortune hiding in plain sight. Next, 1999 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, right? But hidden among the billions of coins minted in the United States, there exists a 1999 P quarter dollar that has stunned collectors and turned ordinary people into legends overnight. This isn't just any coin. It's a mysterious piece of metal that some experts believe could be worth as much as $99 million under the right circumstances. And the most shocking part? It might still be out there, quietly passing from hand to hand, completely unnoticed. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change the way you look at every coin forever. And trust me, the next coins I'll talk about later are even more unbelievable, with secrets that collectors don't openly discuss. Now let's uncover why this 1999 P quarter is causing such a frenzy in the coin collecting world. The 1999 P quarter dollar was part of the very first release of the famous 50-state quarters program, a historic initiative by the United States Mint that celebrated each state in order of joining the Union, starting with Delaware. Millions upon millions of these quarters were minted in Philadelphia, which is what the P mint mark stands for, and at first glance, they seem completely ordinary. People use them for vending machines, grocery stores, parking meters, nothing special. But behind this everyday appearance lies a rare combination of minting anomalies and historical timing that has created one of the most talked about coins in modern collecting history. You see, during the early days of the state quarters program, the mint was under immense pressure to produce coins quickly and efficiently. This rush led to several subtle but critical mistakes, errors so rare that only a handful of coins are believed to exist today. One of the most fascinating of these is what collectors refer to as a double die obverse, combined with an off-center strike in a near-perfect uncirculated condition. Imagine a coin where the design appears slightly duplicated, almost like a shadow effect, paired with a misalignment that gives it a unique visual signature. This is the kind of coin that sends collectors into a bidding war. And here's where things get even more interesting. There have been whispers in the numismatic community about a prototype strike of the 1999 P quarter that was never meant to leave the mint. This prototype reportedly features an unusually sharp design, deeper engraving, and a mirror-like finish that rivals proof coins, yet it somehow entered circulation. If such a coin were to surface today in pristine condition, experts speculate it could command an astronomical price. Yes, even approaching that jaw-dropping $99 million mark under the right conditions. Now, you might be wondering, has anyone actually found one of these coins? The answer is both exciting and frustrating. There have been documented cases of people discovering unusual 1999 P quarters in pocket change, coin jars, and even old piggy banks. In one story that still circulates among collectors, a man sorting through his late grandfather's coin collection stumbled upon a 1999 P quarter with strange doubling on the lettering and an unusually crisp strike. Initially, he thought it was just a curiosity, but after having it examined by experts, it turned out to be one of the rare error variants. While it didn't sell for millions, it fetched a staggering amount at auction, enough to completely change his life. And stories like this are exactly why collectors remain obsessed with this coin. The thrill of the hunt, The possibility that such a valuable piece could be hiding in plain sight keeps people searching through their change every single day. But here's something most people don't realize. Condition is everything. A worn-out 1999p quarter, even with minor errors, might only be worth a few dollars. But a coin in near-perfect condition, with strong luster, no scratches, and a clearly visible error, that's where the real magic happens. Professional grading services can elevate a coin's value exponentially, especially if it receives a high grade like MS 67 or above. And when you combine that with a rare error, you're looking at a coin that collectors would fight over. Now let me pause you for a moment, because if you think this is already unbelievable, you're not ready for what's coming next. There are other coins in this series that push the boundaries of value and rarity even further, and I'll be revealing those soon, so don't go anywhere. Back to our 1999p quarter. Another factor that adds to its mystique is the sheer number of coins minted. With over 300 million produced, the idea that one could be worth millions seems absurd. But that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. It's not about the quantity. It's about the tiny fraction that slipped through with unique characteristics. These are the coins that defy expectations, the ones that rewrite the rules of collecting. And the truth is, many of them may still be out there, waiting to be discovered. Think about all the places coins end up: old drawers, forgotten jars, couch cushions, even the bottom of bags and pockets. How many times have you ignored a quarter without a second thought? What if one of those moments cost someone a fortune? That's the kind of question that keeps collectors awake at night. The psychological pull of this coin is just as powerful as its potential value. It represents hope, luck, and the idea that something extraordinary can come from the most ordinary places. And as the years go by, the legend of the 1999p quarter continues to grow. More people are becoming aware of its potential, more collectors are searching for it, and the demand is only increasing. This means that if a truly exceptional specimen were to appear on the market today, the bidding could reach unimaginable heights. We're talking about a coin that could shatter records, make headlines, and become one of the most famous coins in the world. But here's the twist. Some experts believe that the most valuable version of this coin hasn't even been found yet. That's somewhere out there, perhaps in a forgotten collection or a dusty coin roll, lies a 1999p quarter so rare, so perfect, that it could redefine what we think is possible in coin collecting. And that's why this story isn't just about a coin. It's about the hunt, the mystery, and the endless possibilities. Before we move on, take a moment to think about your own coins. When was the last time you really looked at them? Because the next time you do, you might see something you've never noticed before. And trust me, as we continue this journey, the coins coming next will make this one look almost ordinary, and that's saying something.